Hey, what's up, all you artsy folk? Josh here. We're going to talk about whether you should become an artist. I know that's a big topic, right? And while we do that, we are going to look at this little mouth painting. It's a mouth study. It's a tutorial I did on Patreon. If you want to go check out the full Patreon video for this, go over to the Patreon website, blah, blah, blah. Hit the link below, all that good stuff. Trying to sell some tutorials, okay? Obviously, that's what I'm trying to do. Does anybody else get annoyed by every video starting with an ad? That is definitely me. I'm like, how do you even try to sell anything without being annoying? And I was just annoying right there, so I apologize for doing the annoying ad. Back to the subject at hand today. How do you know if you want to be an artist, or how do you know if you should be an artist? That's the question of the day. Let me look at something here. You know what I did? I went to that ChatGPT thing and I typed in, how do you know if you should be a visual artist? And I was like, hey, ChatGPT, tell me the answer. So here's what ChatGPT says. Well, you got to have passion. Oh, no kidding. That's a good one. Great. That's helpful. Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to put things on walls that you've painted and drew? Do you like doing it over and over and over and over again? Well, guess what? You might have some passion. There you go. Check that one off the box. All right, ChatGPT. What's the next one? Commitment. Okay, another thank you, Captain Obvious from ChatGPT. Commitment. Oh, you need commitment in your artwork. Yes. Are you willing to invest the time, it says here? Well, yeah. I guess if you're going to be an artist, you probably are willing to invest the time. I've invested so much time in my art. Man, that's a thought. How much time have I invested in my art? It's a lot of time. You know that 10,000 hour rule? I'm sure I've hit that and then some. I don't even know. God, that's a crazy question to ask. How many hours have I invested in my art? All right, we know that one. That one's obvious. All right, Chat GPT. Talent, skills and talents, the next one. No kidding. You got to actually be good at something you want. Okay, so let's say you're passionate and you're committed to your artwork, but you are just awful. Sure, your family members and your friends are like, oh my God, that's so good. Just keep painting, keep drawing. You're so good. But then you have one actual real person go, that is really not good, buddy. You should maybe go do something else. Don't quit. If you hear somebody say, don't quit your day job, it's a good sign that maybe your skills and talent aren't there. That doesn't mean you don't have skills and talent somewhere in the artist area. Maybe it's just maybe you're not good at freehand drawing. Like for me, freehand drawing was one of my best skills. I could freehand draw, I could eyeball, so I could see the shapes and the sizes and recreate something from just looking at it without having to use grids and guides. That was my skill. That was one of my best skills. I had no skill though at painting. I had to start from the ground up with that. It took a long time, but now I can say I'm a skilled painter. Just because you're not skilled now doesn't mean you can't be skilled. So don't give up on being, if you don't have any skills or talent, but you just know it's there somewhere, don't give up. Let's just put it that way. Don't give up. Keep trying. That's the best way to go about it. Okay, next one. Risk tolerance. No kidding. All right, risk tolerance from the chat of GPTs. Well, that's another obvious one. Thank you. I guess if you're not risk tolerant, why would you do anything in life? I guess being a fine artist is definitely one of the more risky things. Going to the moon as an astronaut, that's pretty risky. So I guess they're probably the most risk tolerant. People are like, okay, I could die. Let's go in the submarine below the ocean. Those are pretty risk tolerant people. But being an artist, somewhere below that, I would definitely say. But being an accountant, those are probably the least risk adverse people in the world. Let's be an accountant. I'm guessing the way to look at it is if it is really boring, the job you decide to go into, it's probably one of the least risky things you could do. And in artwork, being an artist, being an actor, anything in the creative field, the risk just keeps going up. So the more fun it is, the more risky it is. I'm guessing that's the way you look at it. More boring equals less risk. More fun, more risky. That is the truth. I think I spoke some truth there. That was the first really useful thing I've said in the last 6 minutes. All right, good. Risk tolerance. All right, next one. Education. All right, I'm not sure. How do you know if you want to become a visual artist? What's educate? I guess education maybe has something to do with it. Let's just read it what it says. Consider whether you want to pursue formal education in art, such as attending an art school or university. or if you prefer a more self-directed learning approach. I don't know if that really fits in with what I asked you, ChatGPT. How do you know if you should be a visual artist? Well, because if you want education, that means you want to be a visual artist, I guess. Maybe there's some connection there. ChatGPT, you failed me on that one. I'm not really buying it. All right, next one. Personal fulfillment. Yes, totally agree. Personal fulfillment. 100%. That one kind of goes with passion and commitment, though. If you need personal fulfillment, if art is giving you fulfillment, if you draw something and you just feel fulfilled after you're done with it, even if you spent 100 hours on a drawing and it was just painstaking and you stressed out, but it's done, and you're like, oh my God, that was so worth it. That's fulfillment, I think. And I felt that plenty of times. I think that's one of the main reasons I do what I do, is because I feel fulfilled. Somebody asked me the other day, why do you do this? Why do you paint? I'm like, well, if I didn't, I think I might not have a reason to live. That was kind of more or less my answer. So if you find that you would just die if you didn't paint or draw or do art, good chance is you want to be an artist. So don't die, be an artist. There's a few more here, but I'm going to cut it down for today. I think this was a really interesting experience. The rest of them after that, it's almost like they get worse. There's 10 of them here. I went through about 8 of them, but you get to the 10th one and it's like, now you're just stretching. Wherever ChatGPT grabs this from, it has to be some random website. I'm sure it's all just taken from one website. I almost wonder if I just did a search for the same thing I asked ChatGPT to tell me, it'd probably give me a website and it'd have every single thing just like they wrote it. I'll have to check that out sometime. Anyway, this was a fun experience. I decided to try something different. I was getting sick of editing my videos, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do one quick little talk. Maybe I'll cut a little bit of this out towards the end. I don't know. Let me know what you think of me just letting it free flow. We'll put it that way. I'm free flowing with my thoughts, but I have a little help with the little ChatGPT here. It gave me a little something to work off of. But again, this is a huge pivot from my last 20, 30 videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint the mouth, which again is a tutorial on my Patreon page. Check that out. It's full length. I talk more like this while I'm doing my Patreon videos. I'm just sort of explaining things and not editing myself too much. Very little editing with my Patreon videos. I might edit a couple things out. If I say something just totally stupid, I might edit it later. But like this video, pretty much just going as loose as I can, loose and fast. I don't want to edit anymore. I want these videos to be more fun. And I think you're going to get a little bit more of an insight on who I am and how I'm really thinking. So let me know what you think. Is ChatGPT onto anything that is of use to you as far as if you're trying to be an artist? There's a great book by Stephen Pressfield called The War of Art. Not The Art of War. That's a whole different book, but The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Great book. If you read that and you go, yes, I should be an artist, then you'll know. I could have summed up this whole video by saying that. Just read the book, The War of Art. Thank you again for checking out a video. Like, subscribe, all that noise. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again next week. Bye.